These people online are selling success and you are the product. Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to another episode of Just In Case. Just in case you don't know me, my name is Casey, and just in case you see another post on the internet that says, I made 20K this month and you can too, this is your reality check. This episode is for you. We're going to talk about how easy it is to fall into this trap of feeling like you're not good enough when you're scrolling and you keep seeing all these businesses selling success. A lot of these success stories are actually business models created to sell this dream. This episode is a real talk conversation, pulling behind the curtain and hopefully just opening your eyes to this world, because I fell victim to this before and put myself in the state where I thought I wasn't good enough, which is not the truth, farthest thing from the truth. So I'm here to uncover the curtain and give you the reality check that you probably desperately need if you keep falling for these things. So we're going to talk about the business of selling success. Many accounts that you see on the internet are they seem inspiring, but they're not just inspiring. Selling the success is the business. When you see someone being like, I made 20K this month, you can too. And then they're like, buy my course. That course that you're buying into or would potentially buy into is how they're making that money. I would love to see some businesses be like doing something completely different than selling the success and then being like, this is how I did it. So there are many businesses out there in coaching services that are not telling you you're going to make $20,000 in a month. Maybe this course or business sells a skill, teaching you a skill that you can then use to translate into a business where you can make that much a month. But a lot of the times these businesses and courses that you can buy into telling you that you're going to make money are actually just profiting off your vulnerable state. If you see a business like this, just know that you are the product and you are the one that is creating their $20,000 a month. And there were many people that have come before you that have done that. And sometimes I feel like these people are lying. They actually did not make that. They're just selling this shiny dream, or maybe it happened once and then they're holding on to that 1 month they had and they're recreating that by carrying that energy, and almost it's like trickery. It feels like a scam, honestly. But I've been in a vulnerable position before where I have seen into these businesses and I've like looked into them and I have engaged and I was like, oh, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is, in the sense of you're going to make $20,000 in the next 60 days. I think that's a bit much. So just keep that in mind, please. The real product of these businesses is whoever their audience is, their hopes and dreams. And by you giving your energy to this, you are making yourself susceptible to not reaching your hopes and dreams because you're buying into that person's hopes and dreams, if you're following. And like I said, the people that are buying into these things are probably in a vulnerable state and they're in a lack mindset and they feel like they're not good enough. And a lot of the times these coaches or whoever is offering these services do a really good job at making you feel small so that you feel like you need their service to be better or to have that thing that you want, your goal. But that is the farthest thing from the truth. You don't need anything but yourself, truthfully. You really don't. Another great example, and this one is so real. When you see people creating content about gaining followers, but they didn't get followers until they started making content about how to gain followers. You go on their page and everything that they share is like how to go viral, how to gain followers. I gained this in X amount of time. Like, their business is built around gaining followers, and they talk about that, and that is what gets them followers because it attracts the people that want followers and that want this platform, instead of sharing a skill or a gift or whatever it is. And don't get me wrong, I'm not coming for any of these people, but this is just one lens that you can look at these businesses through, because I'm sure there are people that have signed on for these coaching services and saw some success. Like, I'm not denying it. Like, I'm sure it's happened, but I feel like that's not a reality most of the time, if I'm being honest. Like, I just don't think it works like that. I think that you need to be like super lit up by something and have like a gift or a skill or like something that you can offer that's not just teaching someone how to create success through selling a dream of having this amount of money or whatever it is. In the example of content creators making content about how to go viral and how to gain followers, their topic of choice is their authority and what is bringing them followers. So they're choosing that. So they're like feeding off the energy of people that want this thing that they don't have. And then they're like putting that in your face, being like, look, I have this, but they only got that by talking about the thing that you want, that you don't have. Like, you could start a social media platform talking about how to gain followers with no followers, and then that could build enough traction where you gain followers. So before you like buy into these things, just like pause. We're going to talk all about like how to protect your energy with these, but I just needed to set that straight. I needed to set the tone here because there's so many accounts that I've been seeing like this, and I know a For You page is built by like what you consume, but I'm always just so like, what? When I see this, it's like an eye roll. It's a big eye roll to the algorithm when I see that stuff, because I'm just like, come on, I keep swiping. This feels very heavy to consume and be a part of, and it really puts you in this place of not being good enough. You're only seeing what they want you to see. You're not seeing behind the curtain unless you're watching this. Now you're getting a little peek behind the curtain on what those businesses actually are, even though like I don't run a business like that. I just see through it. But I know some people don't. And if you're in that vulnerable state where you're feeling like you're not enough, or you feel like you have this idea and it didn't come to fruition yet, you look like you see these things and they kind of like light something up in you, and you're like, oh, how is this person doing that? Maybe I should consider that, like working with this person or whatever it is. But you're only seeing what they want you to see. You're not seeing the full thing. And the mindset you're in when you're feeling not good enough, it's almost like desperation, like you're desperate to get that thing. So then you sign on with this person, and it makes you feel behind because you're just buying into their success story, and you're aligning with the person who doesn't have the success that they're selling. When you buy into these coaches' services about making $20,000 a month, you're aligning with someone who does not make $20,000 a month. If you want to energetically align with someone who's making $20,000 a month in the way that that person is probably making it, then you set up a coaching business telling people how you made $20,000 a month. And then like that's how it would work. I don't encourage you to do that because I think it's a ripoff, and it's not a rip. I gotta be careful what I say here. I don't even care if I piss some people off, but I feel like you could, I'm not encouraging you to do that because I think there's better ways to use your energy and to support people on their journey. But just know that like, if you want to energetically align with someone making that amount of money, do what they're doing. Don't buy into what they're doing. Just start doing what they're doing, because if they're doing it, you can do it too. But I'm not encouraging you to do that. I encourage you to build something that's from your heart and that is like soul led and that feels good for you and is fun for you, and not just selling a dream to someone that they might buy into it and not receive that dream, right? And I'm not even saying this from a place of like, that would be crazy if I was saying all of this from a place of like, oh, I bought into one of these things and it didn't work. I can say like I've never bought into like a coaching service like that where someone promised me I would make that, but I see it happen all the time. And I've had conversations with people that sell these types of things and I just see right through it. I don't know. There's something about it that just like rubs me the wrong way. And it just feels a bit off, but I know and understand that some people might be in that vulnerable state where they're just gonna like take anything that they can get, and they so desperately want that dream to be theirs and they want it to be the reality, so they're looking outside of themselves for that validation and for that support in that way, so they will like pay anything to make that happen. I also need to say here, there was one time I was in this like free call, because a lot of the times these businesses will like get you into their business by offering like something for free, like a free masterclass, like a free call, and you go into the Zoom call and you're on the Zoom call with these people and whoever the person is selling the service, and They make everyone in the Zoom call feel really small and below them, and like they have so much work to do and so far to go, and they're blocked from all this stuff. So you need to buy their service to get unblocked and to have this, whatever. But by you signing into that, like you might be blocking yourself even more. But there was a time I was on one of these calls and this girl was talking about like manifesting abundance and how you need to buy her service to do that and unblock your mindset, which I'm sure she could help you unblock some stuff if that is what you're working through. But then she like went on to make everyone feel small in their situation, and everyone on that call that was sharing vulnerable things was in a very vulnerable state and they were struggling financially. That is why they were on this call, because they wanted to make money. But here now, there's hundreds of people on this call that want to make money, and they're all coming from this place of not having enough. So they're almost in this desperation energy of like needing it. And she had the audacity to tell these people to max out credit cards for her coaching, which I left the call. I was like, that is crazy to be telling someone to manifest abundance and money into their life by maxing out credit cards for their coaching service. That does not sit right with me. That does not feel nice. It's not a nice thing to tell someone to do. I don't think that's great financial advice. I don't think it's the way to go about selling your services. But there's people out there that are doing this and it works for some. And there's like people that can fall victim to this. And then it probably will put them in a worse spot. Like if you are in a place where you have to you have to max out a credit card to get this service to make you more money, that might not be the answer that you're looking for. It might not be the path to your success. You can have your own path. You don't have to listen to what these people are saying. Okay? Just need to tell you that, because I see these things all over and I hear them out. I'm a curious person. I'll join the call. Okay, let me see what's going on here. But at the same time, like I'm very skeptical. Like I'm open to listen, but I'm like skeptical, and I'm going to stay grounded in my beliefs and my vision and my morals and what feels right to me, which is leading from my heart and leading from my soul, and not selling success and promising success to people that I can't guarantee. And that is all I'm going to say about that. Do not max out your credit cards for someone's coaching. If you are not in a place to financially afford a service, don't do it. Like, just don't. There's other ways. There's tons of free content out there. There are tons of things that you can get access to, and so many free resources that you can do if the financial aspect isn't there. Don't put yourself in a hole to get yourself out of the hole. It doesn't work like that. It's counterproductive. Let's talk about how to protect your energy from these types of people and businesses out there. First, you're going to ask yourself, what are they selling? What are they selling? If you can see through it in that moment, what is this person selling? You can easily see they're selling a dream. They're selling this idea of something. They're selling something that isn't tangible in the way that like you're buying this product and you're getting this in return. You're buying their energy, like you're buying into their energy of their plan or their dream of success that they're selling. That's what you're actually buying into. Ground yourself in that moment. You're not behind. Your path is allowed to look different. You can achieve the things that they're achieving without doing it the way that they're doing it. Like you can achieve a $10,000 a month or a $20,000 a month without doing it the way that they are. It's possible. You can do it. The only thing you might be missing is a connection to your own energy and your own authenticity. That, because they're going to tell you you're missing this or you're missing that, but just by buying into something like that, you're missing your connection to yourself, really. I do believe in getting support when you need it, but maybe you should sign on for therapy before you go paying a coach to make you $20,000 a month. It doesn't work like that. You have to put in the work. You have to get super clear and connected with yourself, grounded into the things you love, to find success in that kind of way, to attract things like that come from the heart, that are fulfilling and feel good. I personally don't know how I'd be able to knowingly put people in debt to make more money knowing these people are in a vulnerable state and might be struggling with like really hard things, to do that. It's beyond me. But this is just how I feel. This is how I feel. So before you sign up for any coaching services or any courses or programs, whatever it is, just pause. Give yourself a second to think and reflect on it. A lot of the times, these people that are selling these courses and have these business models, they apply pressure. They put this like urgency on you needing to sign up or buy into their coaching or buy into their service by making you feel like you don't have time and you need to decide like right then and there. But anyone who is truly standing in their value and knows that they're selling you a service that will really benefit you and help you grow and bring you the true success you're looking for, they're not going to pressure you into buying into it. They're not going to tell you you only have this amount of time. Like, they are going to know their value and they're going to allow you to take their time, because any financial decision is not like does not need to be an impulse decision. If they want you to make an impulse emotional decision to buy into their service, that is not the type of person you want to be working with. I mean, I wouldn't want to be working with someone like that. So that immediately I would be out the window. You have permission, and you might have to give yourself permission to take your time making a decision and not falling into this trap of needing to decide right then and there, and you only have 24 hours. And no, anyone that is kind and considerate and compassionate and understanding and wants to truly help you be better will give you the time to process and think about the financial decision that you're stepping into, because that's a big deal. Like, offering coaching services there's good and bad to it. There's pros and cons. Like, there's so many different ways to perceive it, but I'm just talking about like a very specific business model of people that are just selling the success, and it's not actually like giving you much except that like hope and inspiration. You can get that for free on the internet all over. Go on Pinterest. You can find inspiration for free there, and you don't have to pay thousands of dollars and put yourself in debt for it. Don't sign on for anything that someone is pressuring you that you need to do right now, because truly you don't. The only thing you have to do right now is ground into yourself, get clear on what it is you truly want and what you feel like you're truly missing. Connect to what is exciting to you. Connect to what lights you up and what makes you feel fulfilled from like a soul level, and focus on that. Protect your peace, protect your energy, take your time. Do not make impulse decisions with these business models, okay? You hear me? Now we're going to talk about building real soul-led success. Focus on your lane. Focus on what lights you up. Focus on what makes you speak louder and more passionate. Focus on the thing that literally lights a fire inside you and is so passionate that you could talk about forever. Focus on something that just lights that fire within you. That is what is going to bring you that success. And it might not be instant. Real success is not overnight. It's a slow, organic process. It happens gradually. I talked about this on so many episodes, but really, real success that is sustainable, lasting, and built on a solid foundation isn't going to happen so rapid. There is going to be a lot of things going on behind the scenes. There's going to be a lot of failed attempts. There's going to be a lot of failed launches. You will get there. You just have to keep going. You have to just keep going. The best way to make it is to build something that aligns with you, that is exciting for you, because no one is you. You're going to be the one running this thing. You're going to be the one working at it. You're going to be the one showing up for it every day. Hopefully. I hope you are. If you love it, it's not going to feel emotionally draining or physically draining to show up every day for this thing, because you're excited. It lights you up. It sparks a fire in you, and you get to just go at it full force. And then you're realizing in the process, wow, I'm building something that I love and I can show up for, and it actually fuels me and it makes me feel so inspired. And then your energy is magnetic, and that is what brings in the success. And who knows, maybe that's what will make you $20,000 a month. It very much can. It can. Stay close with what lights you up. Real growth is going to feel like peace. It is not going to feel like panic. A lot of the times these traps, they're traps of these business models that are selling success and dreams. They make you panic into like buying into it or signing up for this thing. And a lot of the times it just puts you in the energetic place of not having it, and it further blocks you from having that thing. This was a shorter episode, but I believe there's a lot of value in here, and someone needs to hear this, because there has been a time where I was like a young, vulnerable girl, 20 years old, like looking into these things, like almost buying into it. And I'm happy I didn't. I'm happy that I stayed true to me and I got grounded in things I love, and I continued to build things that fulfill me on a soul level, that aren't about just making $20,000 a month, $10,000 a month, whatever number you think you need to be making every month. It's more about, how does this make me feel? How am I impacting people's lives? How am I creating positivity in the world and in my world? And how am I sharing love with people? How am I showing up in a way that can brighten people's day on a small scale? It doesn't even have to be this like big drastic thing. So with that being said, you're not behind, you're not broken. You might just need to get a little bit more connected to yourself, ground into who you are, keep showing up for what you love. Pause and take your time if you are falling into one of these traps, or if you're like curious about it, like I have been at one point in my life. If you're curious about these things, just give yourself time to really digest and see through what's actually being sold to you, and make the best decision for yourself. Okay? Quiet success is still success. Real things will take time. Just in case nobody told you, you can follow your own path. You can do things your own way. You don't need anyone else besides you, your passion, your vision, your dreams, and the love that you have to give to the world. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. I would love to hear your experience with any of these types of businesses. I would love to chat about it in the comments. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a real one. Thank you for vibing with me and spending this moment with me. I hope that you have a beautiful moment wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.